All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? Is there no one else? I missed you guys. Been busy, but I'm back, and we are going to knock out some PTS stuff before the new patch goes live next week. We got some things to cover. Not a ton of stuff I've found has been super exciting. That's why the videos have been pretty sparse. But I figured we cover it, and I kind of want to show you guys where I'm coming from and what I'm thinking. And obviously, like, this is stuff that's going to have to be tested live because you can't reenact this sort of stuff on the PTS. And so we're just going to dive into the monster sets. I can kind of tell you my initial thoughts on it, what I'm going to test, what I'm interested in, and you guys can decide if you want to test that yourself, because it may take me a while to get to it. So let's start with Glorgalock. So we're going to go through this video is going to be the new monster sets. Now, okay. I am all over the place right now. Guys, can you tell it's been a week and a half since I've done a video? I am so sorry. 3 new monster sets are coming to the next patch, and they are available in the Imperial City. You buy the shoulders with Telvar. They are all monster helmets and masks, and so it's very exciting because I've talked about this in other videos. It's been brought up. I really have to tip my hat to ZeniMax on this one once again. I've wanted them to do things to bring people into Imperial City because Imperial City is one of the most fun places to PvP. It's just so much fun, and there's not a whole bunch of reasons for people to be in here. Now there is. Bringing in new gear, bringing in new incentives to have people come get this is very, very nice. And yeah, you don't do dungeons for it. You gotta come down into Imperial City and risk getting ganked and all those other fun things. So that's what these new sets are. We're going to dive into them. These are all bosses in Imperial City. So as you guys can see, there's 6 different districts. We have 3 different monster masks, which means in the future, we'll probably get 3 more monster masks, which is pretty exciting. Now, let's dive into the first one, Glorgalock. Max health. The number 2, while in combat, each second you stand still grants you a stack of Flesh Fortress up to 10 stacks. Each stack increases your armor by 380 and your critical resistance by 38. Each second you move removes a stack of Flesh Fortress. Exiting combat removes all stacks of Flesh Fortress. So this is a set that I talked about in the gear set review that I'm personally not a huge fan of. I'm not going to go into too many details. If you guys want to read the patch note review, you know where I stand on it. I don't think not moving should get incentivized via buffs. I think this game has active and dynamic combat, and so in my opinion, having the set function off of doing combat-like things is more beneficial. Plus, on top of this, the set just isn't... I don't just think it's very good. Each stack increases your armor by 380, so you get up to 3,800 armor for a monster set. You get close to the same with Bloodspawn. Critical resistance by 38, so 380 critical resistance, which is what is the same as two armor pieces. I think it's 2 armor pieces. Let me double check. I gotta have an impen piece in here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, 127. Yeah, so it's not a full. It's actually 3 armor pieces. Okay. Yeah, for not moving, it's not great. Now, the first thing I thought of when I saw this is like, oh, flag games. You know, if you're playing King of the Hill, if you're playing something like that, Crazy King, and you need to hold your ground in an area in Battlegrounds, maybe this is valuable. But the thing is Battlegrounds right now is such a proc fest, the critical resistance isn't valuable, in my opinion. So half the set's kind of wasted, but I don't know. Maybe you guys think this is a good set. I'll show you guys the animations here. So as long as we're in combat, we're not moving, we should get these stacks. So let's see what the animation is. We got 6, 7. Wow, we built stacks right away. So each second we're in combat and not moving, we build the stacks. If I move a little bit, we drop down to 10. So yeah, each second I don't move, I build the stacks. But as long as you're in combat, you still build them. It's interesting. So I'm at 10 stacks right now. Why are they not going down? I'm moving. Okay, I'm moving. Do they overstack? Hold on. Is this bugged? Oh my gosh, they overstack. Okay. Okay, well that changes things a little bit. Let's see what our resistance are once we're fully stacked. Do they keep going up? All right, we're at 9. Okay. Well, that's better. Okay. So if I thought it was once you got to 10, you got capped. And then like the minute you moved, you lost stacks. But as you can see, if you look at the lower left, okay, is it now not stacking anymore? We went a good time period there where, okay. That was a really weird bug. If it was a bug. Let's not move for a little bit here. Sorry, this is the first time I'm looking at it. You guys are going through with me at the same time. Okay, now it's working like normal. So the minute I move, it starts dropping. So if you look at my little status bar in the lower left, you see the stacks are 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you go back and you look at this clip, I spent a good 10 seconds of being at 10 stacks. That's why I thought it was maybe that. Okay. So yeah, so you can see why I'm not a really big fan of the set. I don't think the buffs are good enough, especially in a 1vx situation that's not too often you're going to be able to stand in one spot. Yeah, maybe for flags, those sorts of things. But yeah, outside of that, I don't know. Immolator Char. This one I'm very interested in for a few reasons. So once again, 1 piece is armor, 2 pieces max health. So like Oscar said in the Discord, he convinced me of this, which I agree with. The fact that you get base stats for the 1 and 2 piece before the proc condition happens is actually quite nice. And so you get a built-in armor, you get a built-in max health, so it's just like wearing 2 different 1 pieces before anything else happens. And the 2 piece, when you take damage while below 50% health, gain immunity to immobilization, snares, and crowd control effects for 10 seconds. This effect can occur once every 40 seconds. Now, the cooldown is quite long on this. It is quite long. But I have to say this. When I look at sets like this, I like to try and compare them to sets that already exist in the game. The closest set that exists that's like this is probably Snow Treaders. So you're immune to immobilizations and snares. This is also crowd control effects, so CC immunity as well. But what I found when I've worn Snow Treaders in the past is it actually boosts your sustain quite a bit to be running Snow Treaders, because you don't have to hit shuffle, you don't have to hit race against time, you don't have to dodge roll a few extra times or get slogged down and sprint in order to get your distance. You just have that naturally, and so because you don't have to cast those abilities, you just move freely in combat. So oftentimes you guys have seen me run Snow Treaders with a loot in towers and stuff, and it's really hard for me to die because I just can't get locked down in place. This only functions for 10 out of 40 seconds, but you can still sprint with it. Yeah, this is one of those things that I'm interested in. Okay, the styles, It's one of those things that I'm interested in because the amount of sustain you could potentially get from it could be quite nice. Now, I do think the cooldown might be a little much in order to actually be truly useful. This is only going to be one of those things that I'll be able to tell once we get into PvP and get run down by 5, 10, 15 people. Then I'll be able to actually evaluate its true use. But let's go through this and let's see what the proc looks like. So we got to drop below 50% health. We're just a badass right now. There we go. Okay, so we get the snare removal for 10 seconds. Dropping a standard on us. So the interesting thing about this set, and why I think why I'm actually pretty interested in it, is it does last for 10 out of 40 seconds. But you can also get immune to crowd control effects through CC breaking. You can also get immune to crowd control effects via potions. And so it's one of those things where it's like, in a fight, if you're not able to get CC'd, it's going to be really tough for people to do stuff. And so you go in here, while under the effects of crowd control immunity, you take 2% less damage per stage. So for those 10 seconds, you should take 10% less damage. You also have this one, increase the duration of crowd control immunity by 3% per stage. So let's say we add this. So we have 15% increased duration. So for 10 seconds, you had 15% on top. It's only 1.5. So it's 11.5 seconds with that, plus an immovable pot, plus another half a second or whatever with your CCs. CC breaking. So like you CC break, you go your 6 seconds, you pop your potion, you get your 12 or 13 or whatever it is. So that's 20 seconds. Then if you drop below 50% health, you get another 10 seconds. By the time that's done, like you're going to have to CC break once every potion pop, which is incredibly valuable. Like it can be. I'm not saying this is any good. I'm just like, this is a set that I'm definitely going to test when it goes live is what I'm trying to say. Like I'm definitely going to test this because it's got some hidden value potentially. Now, when push comes to shove, I don't think it's going to be as good as Balorg. I don't think it's going to be as good as like a set like Gaze of Sithis, even though Gaze of Sithis got a nerf. This is a 2-piece, that's a 1-piece. I think I would rather just go Gaze of Sithis, but we don't know. We don't know for sure. It's just something I'm going to test. And finally, Zol the Ever Wokeful. Okay. Style's okay. Face looks like a little fish face, little fish face in the front. Yeah. All right. 1-piece max stamina. 2-piece when you break free, you release a wave of Watcher energy, causing enemies within 8 meters of you to become feared for 3 seconds. You also gain 34 weapon and spell damage for each enemy hit, up to 6 enemies for 7 seconds. So you can have up to 180 weapon damage with this, and you get CC, a free CC every time you CC break. Which, honestly, guys, on a few different classes, this could actually be really nice. The first one I think of is like Magic and Necromancer. Magic and Necromancer, if it has one weakness, it's that its CCs aren't like super great. I need to get CC'd by him. We're trying to figure this out. These guys are not cooperating. Normally this dude does like a big uppercut thing. There it is. Oh, that's cool. That's actually really cool. Okay. So I definitely see this being used. I'm curious to know if it's unblockable. I don't know if it says that it is or not. But you CC break. Like this is going to be valuable. Like this is going to be really nice. And I'm not saying it's going to be better than other stuff, but I can already see this being used on a few different builds. First thing I think of, like I said, some mag specs CCs aren't super great. If this is unblockable, and this is something I can test when I get a buddy on, but if this is unblockable, this could be really nice. Because think about it. If you're 1vxing in a tower and you got 3, 4, 5 people on you, every time they CC you, you're CCing their entire group. Every single time. Like, so that wave of Watcher energy is everybody that's within 8 meters of you. So you know how annoying it is when you're fighting 5, 6, 7 people and you have that one person javelin spamming and CCing you off cooldown, and every time you go in for a combination, they mess it up. This does that to them. Doesn't cost anything. UCC break costs you stam. It makes them drain stamina too. And so you're putting a drain on their resources for free in the same way that they're doing it to you. And so, yeah, I'm not saying it's the best, but like when you're a Magic and Necromancer and you have Totem, which is easily avoidable, Fear Totem, like you really need to get people to choke into an area. It's not easy to, against some specs, it's not easy to land. This could be quite nice. Or if you're running across a block spec and you're running like Flame Clench, if this is unblockable, this could be really nice. So yeah, I will definitely be getting this one. There's a few different specs that I would try this on. The potential to drain an entire group's resources while they're doing it to you is quite nice, in my opinion. This is going to be one of the most annoying monster sets to fight. I can already see it. Yeah, basically off a cooldown. Once you get CC'd again, you're going to be able to CC everybody in the area that's on top of you. Yeah, like the other thing that I'll bring this up, I don't need to convince anybody that this already looks powerful, because I think it is. Think about Arctic Blast, right? Like you're fighting a Stamden or a Magden or whatever, somebody with Arctic Blast, you go in for your combination and you go for your finishing combo, right? Well, if they CC break and they're wearing this set, they're going to interrupt your burst in the same way that Arctic Blast can interrupt a burst. So if you go in for your combination and you dawn break and you go to execute and they pop up right away and they fear you and you don't get that execute off, and now all of a sudden they're able to pop heals. I mean, yeah, I'm interested in the set, as you guys can tell. I'm definitely interested in the set. I don't know if it's going to be better than Balorg. I don't even know if it's going to be better than Sithis. Like, these two sets look like they're probably going to be better, but this is the type of stuff that I want to test. And so, yeah, these are the new monster sets available. Week and a half, about a week and a half for PC and about 2.5 weeks for Xbox. So that's going to be in this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, I will be doing a few different more on this PTS. I'll go through a few different sets before this goes live. Let me know what you kind of want to see. And I will post on my community discussion thread if this set's unblockable. Because I don't know if it is or not. If somebody does know, let me know. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be this video. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.